It's time finally for basically my favorite way to bet football, and Dimers is at the heart of it all. It is the first touchdown round robin. 3 times is what we cashed in week 1. Basically, out of the 5 round robin legs, we hit 3 of them. That's a massive profit. We were very happy with our results in week 1. So, Dave, take us away for for week 2.
Yes. Okay. Everyone, please do your mental drum rolls here as I pull up the graphic. Symbol crash. There we go. All right. Let me hide this bad boy. So we'll run through this real quick. These are our top 5 first touchdown probabilities of week 2. Nothing more to it. Just the top 5. With exception that Josh Jacobs is not on here because he plays tonight. He was the 3rd or 4th highest in the projections, but we're not going to carry a first touchdown round robin for 2 days. So Derrick Henry first, 19% probability, plus 290 odds, gets the Browns. Derrick Henry did all of his work outside the red zone in week 1, but he ran 18 times for almost 170 yards. He's King Henry. I believe he historically has dominated the Browns, or at least last year in their 2 division games. So he's unsurprisingly our top guy here. Next is Kyren Williams of the Rams versus the Titans at 17%, plus 320 odds. He had 4 red zone touches and a score, which was the first score in the game, cashing us on that ×3 last week. The Titans stink. Kyren Williams here to score first makes sense. Christian McCaffrey, 49ers versus the Saints. He gets a 16% probability. There are no odds for him right now. The DraftKings did not have this game up on the books, probably because of the Purdy stuff, but they'll get up there eventually. So, yeah, I mean, if you find better odds somewhere else, go for it and don't wait. But McCaffrey had 10 red zone touches, no score in week 1, but 32 combined rushes and targets in that game. Brock Purdy is out. They are going to lean on Christian McCaffrey. I think Mac Jones will be starting, so expect him to be a workhorse, to get his looks, and possibly break a huge run against a pretty pitiful-looking Saints team. 4th, we got Jonathan Taylor of the Colts versus the Broncos. Jonathan Taylor has a 16% probability, did not score in week 1, vultured by Daniel Jones twice, but he had 7 red zone touches. It was not for lack of trying. They got close. They gave him the ball. He got stuffed. Daniel Jones ran it in. Not going to overthink this one and stick with our guy who is top 4 to score the first touchdown. And finally, James Conner. We will go back to Conner, who also scored for us in week 1 versus the Panthers this time. 15% probability. 3 red zone touches, scored on a pass, and you can get him at plus 425 odds. Last week, all 5 of these guys scored an anytime touchdown. Some food for thought for you as maybe a side wager, playing this as an anytime TD 5-leg parlay. But for the first touchdown round robin, here's what we got. Derrick Henry, Kyren Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, and James Conner.
Love it.
Real quick. Yep. Sorry, Greg.
No, you're good. I love it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. You're good. Real quick, I just want to explain how we stake our round robins. Just for anyone who we talked about the scale of these a bit, I believe previously we talked about ladders, but sometimes wagering advice is important to include here. So based on what we would consider a $33 total wager, and you should adjust this based on what you can afford to bet and what you are willing to lose. You put $2 on the combinations of ×2. That will give you 10 combos. You put $1 on the ×3. That's another 10. You put 50 cents on the ×4. That's 5 combos. And you put $1 on the 5-leg parlay, which of course is just one combination. If you only hit 2 of these, you will cash the 2-leg parlay of the 2 that hit. If we hit 3 of these, you will cash that 3-leg parlay plus the multiple combinations of ×2 contained within that 3-leg parlay. And that goes on all the way up the board, compounding the profits the more you hit. And ideally, if we hit just 2, our lowest odds, we can break even, which is pretty much what we target when we plan this stake and select our players.
Thank you for that. I love the round robins. It's my favorite way to bet. It's just a fun thing to sit back when you get rolling like we did in week 1 and you're hitting a couple of the first ones. You dream of this upside of cashing all 5 and having the greatest ticket in betting history. I would say, look, there are weeks that we go 0 for 5. I'm not saying that's going to happen this week. There are weeks that we've gone 5 for 5 with these round robins. It just is such an enjoyable way to bet it. And if you're betting it responsibly, which we always encourage, you're not putting 10 units on this, right? No. Literally break this up the same way you would bet one singular bet elsewhere. Take one total unit, spread it across the different legs of this, sit back, relax, and enjoy. There's not many better ways to bet football. Quickly for you, what I was going to rudely interrupt you on and try and ask about. So McCaffrey's odds aren't available. There's quote unquote injury concerns. That's part of this, right? I think we all expect him to play. Like he's on record saying he's going to play. But for anyone out there, if McCaffrey odds remain unavailable for whatever reason, do you have any ideas on how else we could get a fifth name here?
Yeah, simply fire up the projections hub on site, which is where these come from. You scroll all the way over to the right. You click on first TD, and you'll sort everybody by first TD probability. And I mean, make your pick. If you want to just go with the next guy up, then you can go with the next guy up. It's probably going to be like a Bijan Robinson. That he's not in the top 5 was actually a little surprising to me this week. But, these are going to be very matchup based week to week. So a guy who gets 20% one week could very well have 12, 13% the next, even if he's a stud like Bijan. And make your pick. If you want to go for a longer odds guy, it's not crazy to mix in one guy. If he hits in one of your combos, then you're looking real nice.
Yep. Yeah. And honestly, we lay it out as nicely as we can for you, make it easy just with our picks in the graphic. But once you start to bet some of these and you get a feel for it, you can use the hub yourself to find values that you are really seeing an edge in and put your own round robins together. I mentioned on episode 1, I believe last week, the first touchdown one is electric. You get the biggest names in the sport if you bet it that way. You also can just do anytime touchdown, but you got to go way down the list. You're not going to get Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey level players to score anytime and be able to get the same value out of the way we put these round robins together. But especially early in the season, sometimes you can jump on a rookie receiver or running back sometimes, and our model will certainly show edges in players of that caliber from the plus 300 down to 5-1 range. So various ways you can put your own round robins together. Encourage you to try it out. You'll probably enjoy it as much as we do, but let's hope for success. Back-to-back weeks with some hits on our first touchdown round robin would be a great way to kick off this NFL season.